but you meet a guy that you really like, and all of a sudden, that list that you held in high regard, it starts shifting a little bit. You was like, I need a man that's at least 6'2", right? You meet a man that's 5'10", and he's saying the things that you like. Now said men all of a sudden became 6'2", even though he's 5'10". Same thing with the money. You're like, yo, he ain't got a lot of money, but he's smart with his money. He spends his money on me when he has to. And it's just like, I think it's not the issue that you're creating the list. I think it's the person creating the list that's the problem, especially if you don't know the things to actually look for, if that makes any sense.
I think those lists are just, hey, if you want something, it's kind of like a wish list, right? I think that when people meet people that they like, they're not like this going by no list at the end of this. Because if they did, we wouldn't be in relationships. Half the people would be in relationships.
Well, maybe because what you're putting on the list isn't the right thing.
Well,
I
yeah,
that's what
because
it is. If you, it all starts with like what HD said. It all starts with you knowing you. When you know who you are, and when you know what you need, the partner that you get is going to reflect the areas in which you need. So a lot of times we're putting things that are like super. I ain't gonna say being attracted to the guy isn't necessary, or being attracted to the girl isn't necessary. That is definitely something that's going to help keep a relationship together. You want to at least be attracted to the person. But when I'm saying attracted, there's multiple ways you can be attracted to people. And if you're just like, you know, when you say I want physical attraction, and your physical attraction, oh, he gotta be 6'2", he gotta have green eyes, he gotta have curly hair, and all of these things are on your list. You know what I'm saying? You're already knocking out majority of the men that you're going to even come across, just in those first four things that you have on your list. So what I'm saying is, when you're looking at things that are substantial to build a strong foundation of a relationship, those are the things that need to go on your list first. So one of the guys had said, which it just spoke, loudly, was the fact that if you get 60 to 70% of the things on your list, he's like, even 75, you're doing great, because that's a strong foundation in which you can build something on. And then a 25% is other stuff that you can potentially work on, or other things that you just have to accept it as this is this aspect of a person, because it's just going to be some things about a person that you just can't change. That's their personality. So you can't change personality per se. It's like, if you have a solid 70-75% of the things that's on your list, you're good. And in hindsight, when I looked at that, I was like, you know what, it's true, because that's kind of similar to that 80-20 rule. But he, says 70-30 or whatever. But I think the problem is that what we do as women, we don't want to settle for the 70, even though 70 is passing. You know what I'm saying? We want the 100. We want the A plus, and the likelihood of you being able to find a guy with every single thing on your list is slim to none. But if by the chance you end up finding that, it's gonna be something else on the list you forgot that you're gonna want to add on after you get with him, because now you realize, I don't really like that. And so something else ends up being added to your list. So if you get that 70-75% to start with, I think you're good money moving forward.
so what I was trying to say was, most people have a list, but nobody's really going. The list is just a list. Nobody is mating with these people on this list, right? Most people, if they find somebody that they mesh with, you like, most relationships happen out of, oh, I met somebody and it just clicked. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden that list just gets thrown out the
You
window.
ain't going
Because
by your list. You're going by your lust.
no, so what I'm saying is that's not how I think that we sit here and we like, oh, there's a list. I want a 6'6". I want a da 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 da. In reality, that's not what's showing in reality. That's not who you're even with. Most of the women who you sitting here saying you want somebody who's 6'3", you effing with and you in love with ain't 6'3". You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it sounds good. It's kind of like saying if I told my kid, give me your Christmas list, they gonna put everything on there. That don't mean you finna get that. It just means it's just I'm just dreaming right now. You know, it's la la land. You feel me? So if you ask me, I'm gonna give you something extraordinary. You feel me? But when it comes to reality, you know, you're looking for more practical things like, hey, you know, he was nice to me. He was da 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 da. And you end up falling for things that are not even, you know, close
So
to that.
using that analogy that you said when you tell the kids to write the Christmas list, they're gonna write everything because that's their, their wish list.
Their
Now I know
dream.
their dream list, right? But I remember like as a parent, I'm like, okay, put a star next to your top 3 items that you really, really want the most, right? So they would
But
identify,
even that mistaken. When we
that's
walk
what I'm
out,
trying to tell
well,
you.
so
When
what I'm
you
saying to you is when we walk outside, bump what people are saying. You got to stop listening to it because there's a lot of stuff being said on this internet. But when you walk in front of me and I see your mate, you don't meet none of that criteria. So you didn't go for that with your mate. These people are with people that are not what their list say they want, right? They've fallen for people who are is not what their list is suggesting that they want. People do that every single day. Because guess what? Average people out here at making average people. And even in her head, she believe he above average. Trust me, it's people in the clique who's like, nah, nigga, just average. Like it's all subjective to the person. You understand? And I can look at her list and be like, oh my God, this looks extravagant. And then you see her make you like, that's what you got. That's what you was in your head looking at when you made that list. It don't be adding up. So what I'm saying is the list when people get on the internet, oh, he gotta be 6'3". He gotta be a ball player, but you're not messing with that. Like that sounds good, but it's not what's reality. It's not what's going on from the day to day. Does that make sense?
Shan said he a 5'9" restaurant host.
But see, that was the thing. That's what I was saying. I think what she misinterpreted was that I was saying that what they get, what they have on a list. You're saying whatever they write on the list isn't what they add, what they end up with. That list goes out the window. What I was
Right.
saying,
Oh,
no, what I was saying was the problem is one, what they include on the list isn't necessarily what they need on the list. And so when
no,
you just operate in the attraction part, you forget the foundation aspects of what
sure.
makes the list important. Like how I was saying about you put the star next to the top 3 things that you want for Christmas. That means you're looking through that list. Yeah, I have my dream list, but if I can't get everything on my dream list, these are the things that I really, really want. I don't think people are going as far as identifying the things that they really, really want.